Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we are in the world. Can everybody hear me? Okay, you can hear me perfect. Today we are live and direct from the airport. We came to the airport 5 hours early so we can get all of our calls done and jump on a flight because this is how we do in the world of F I Love My Life. So you are with us live and direct, Palm Beach Airport, and we are about to jump into April's Mastermind. So I have apologies from Hattie. I have apologies from Denise as well, and they've committed to watching the replay. And I want to celebrate a couple of things. So, number one, I want to celebrate everybody who jumped into the secret offer yesterday. It's a big deal, and I'm excited to support you guys with your messaging. I'm also really excited to celebrate Emma, who is now F I Love My Life 5-figure alumni. She's jumping into year 2 of the membership, which is really exciting. And let's celebrate Debbie's group program kicked off today, which is awesome. So a really great place to start. And what we're going to do is we're going to kick off with shares. So where you're at right now, I want you to really remind yourself of like, here's the goals that I set for myself when we jumped into this mastermind space. This is where I'm at with those goals. Maybe I've let some of them go. A huge topic of conversation lately has been, in order to upgrade, what do we need to eliminate? So there might have been some realizations and awareness. So we'll do an update. I'll listen, as I always do, to see where there's coaching available within the updates. I then want to specifically ask the question, and I put it in yesterday's email. Um, what's the biggest problem you've got right now in life and or business that, if you could solve, would make the biggest difference? So I really want you to think about that question and bring forward, whatever's going on. And then if we've got time, we'll take additional Q&A. How does that sound? Okay. Who would like to kick us off? Emma, come on up. Tell us what's been going on.
Ah, so I have been plugging this membership for like 4 months and it just hasn't landed. And I know why, I can see why from the action. There's even in me, I haven't felt that clear client journey because it's like, well, if they jump in the middle, then what does that mean? And I'm doing that. So I've decided to scrap it and really focus on doing a signature offer. So I've had a few ideas that I haven't put any action into yet because I really hear this like slowing down and getting clear.
Mhm.
So that really feels like the bold move at the moment. And it's not that I've given up on the membership, it's that this is going to be a space to land when people understand the value of space. Because at the moment, people don't get that. They want the transformation, and I haven't been able to communicate that clearly because I haven't been clear about it. I've got a lot going on in me at the moment with this, like looking at the niche. I'm going to be really emotional because I'm just seeing how much I identify with that my ex-husband is pretty abusive actually on quite a regular basis. And I'm talking about, what have you been tolerating? And I've been tolerating a lot and I've been holding it and powerfully leading myself and blah, blah, blah. But actually, it's been exhausting. So it hasn't been from a full embodied place of power. And I'm sitting in that at the moment. And it does feel heavy and it does feel emotional. And I'm in this slowing down phase, which there's an element of like, oh, for fuck's sake, again. And I know that this is how I get to the next level.
Mhm. It's a big deal. You're stretching your capacity. You know that. It's like, wow, if I can hold myself through, all of this going on, like, what's the next level available for me? And so, what's the impact of the realization, Emma?
Um, I feel like I have a lot to offer in the co-parenting realm. That's something that I felt for a while, and the like a lot. I leak a lot of energy, and my nervous system gets really dysregulated in a lot of communications with Josh. So it's like I hold it, and I think that I don't even know I don't see the impact quite yet, except for that I'm gonna have more peace, more power, more clarity, more certainty to move forward, as opposed to things being quite scattered, this start and stop in, this like saboteur coming into like, oh no, come back to the chaos. It's like I'm going to be able to see that and hold my vision, my peace, and my power more.
Right. And don't underestimate yourself. We don't want to bring shame to, I've been tolerating something for a really long time. And you know what? It's bubbled to the surface and I'm really saying it out loud and I'm realizing it on another depth that you don't want to bring shame to, this realization. What you want to understand is that when you have been able to take action, create a vision, like dream about your next level, whilst all of this has been going on, that's another level of strength. It's another level of strength, right? But here's what you want to be careful of. You don't want your business to become a new patterned response to what you've tolerated up until this point, right? And what I mean by that is you want to be careful not to build a business where there's like codependency with your clients, where there's
Mhm.
energy leaks with your clients, where you're holding back what's true for you because you feel like you're managing emotional chaos behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we want to be really use this awareness and then with that awareness, like be even more unapologetic, be even more you. Because this survival mode, like that's not the identity that's going to run the show anymore,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that like there's going to be an impact for the kids as well, because like, there is still violence that happens there, and that's been sort of like very aimed at solely me. And Josh is like, he gives me a hard time about it almost. It's like, well, they don't act like that here. And then there's just like a ton of judgment that comes out of that. And there's like this idea of like lack of support that's coming. So there's just, yeah, I feel like I'm in a crumbling right now. I'm in a bit of a tower moment where it's like, um,
And that's the moment where, look at my story. The moment that everything came crashing down in a way that was undeniable was
mhm,
the moment that I realized, thank goodness I get to do this on my own and build something from the ground up without caring what other people think, without expectations of other people's support. Like, this is all on me. And
mhm.
that's how I'm going to move forward. Now, asked a question and you can just nod or shake your head. Either is perfect. I'm putting you on the spot here. I feel like you just sharing your story with Emma would be really powerful for her, not on the call, but maybe you guys could get together separately and just have a conversation if you're open
Yeah,
to that. No, no
happy
pressure.
to. I'm super open. Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley has a really powerful story and learning wisdom from her experiences that will be able to help you just have a different perspective on where you're at right now, Emma.
Thank you.
So we want to support you to build from the ground up. So when we get into the Q&A part, like bring your questions. I got you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Really great share to start off. Who would like to go next? What is going on? What's the latest? Asti, come on up.
All right. So, a lot's going on. I've been working really, really hard.
I see.
And I feel like there are three main pathways for me right now to really, really grow. We're doing amazing things with onboarding new people. I feel like my team knows exactly what to do. And that's been super successful for us and created a lot of momentum, which is awesome. And that is implementing um, a system that I worked on for like 6 months last year. So that's
Yep.
coming to fruition and being really exciting. So the things that I feel like are going to really be good are just kind of local or even away vendor markets, right? I tend to find a lot of people at places like that, and it's a fun way to meet people. So there's that, the kind of the in-person thing. And then the second thing is, I feel like social media, once I can get it really rolling, will be a very good thing, right? I just haven't been able to figure out how all the pieces fit together. I'm doing my posting. Um, just about every day. I've missed a couple because of some crazy things, but just about every day. But I feel like I don't know what the difference between stories and reels and posts is, like when to incorporate what. And so, and then also I'm not sure how to interject offers into that. So I feel like I'm still a baby in social media in a lot of ways, and just thinking maybe I need to start a really specific training with someone to walk me through some basics. So there's that one. And then there's also just basic online marketing and starting to kind of, and I am taking a training for how to do that. And that feels really exciting to me for actually bringing in people through ads and whatnot. So
Mm.
those are kind of my three main avenues right now. But I do sense a lot of momentum. I've had more like personal enrollments this last month than I have probably in the last 5 years. Um,
Wow.
I mean, not like combined, but like in a single time. So
Yeah.
I feel like momentum is really picking up. And I do know that I need to kind of walk through exactly what my customer onboarding is going to be, just to make sure everybody's taken care of and that I've got a system for that. So that's where I am right now. So lots
Yeah.
happening. And I feel like I'm also needing a lot more skills and understanding.
Yeah, I love that. Now, the content part is easy, and I definitely don't think that you need like another course or a program to teach you how to do that. Like we can go through the
Okay.
basics in this conversation, and
Okay.
and you know, the one of the starting places that you can look at is like you're amazing at in-person stuff, right? And it's like, why am I amazing at enrolling people in line online, why in person rather than online? Why am I amazing at going to the shows and supporting vendors and things like that? And you want to ask yourself, like, why does that work so well for me? Like, what do I say and somebody lights up? What do people respond to the most? Like, what energy are you in when you're talking about your opportunities? What stories am I sharing that people really resonate with, that people really say yes to? And you want to really write those things down, because that's like your magic. So that, you know, I always say you can have all the strategy in the world, but actually like it's an identity thing. So you want to get clear first of all, like what is it that I do in person? Like what do I say? What do I talk about? What do I share? What do people enjoy, you know, speaking about? What questions do they have? And that's really going to become your content. And what you can do
Mhm.
is you can turn those most frequent questions, those most frequent conversations into captions, into reels, into short videos, like that kind of thing. That's going to be you. That's going to start to build trust. So when people see the adverts that you're going to run, they're like, okay, well, let me go to Asti's page. Am I experiencing Asti, what it's like to be in Asti's world? Like so on and so forth. And
Okay.
then there's some real obvious types of content that we want to make. So the difference between feed and stories is feed content continually gives value. So you might bring problem awareness, you might educate on something. People read your feed content and they go, oh my gosh, like she's literally in my head speaking to me. So feed content is that. Story content is offers, launches, links, like that kind of thing, or the behind the scenes, like the day to day of your life. So right now I'm doing an in-person show, like, you know, I'm at stall 10, like come along, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your
And
content right
how often do you do offers in the stories? Is it like once a week or once a month,
So
or how do you?
this is so good, right? So what we want to be clear on is like what is your client journey? So we want to, you know, we've been speaking about this in F I Love My Life. It's like when someone comes into your world, what are their options? And we want to map out a client journey for the year. And then what you know is, okay, in the month of April, here's what I'm launching. This is what the launch looks like. We really want to create a structure within your business, because the structure creates freedom. It allows you to schedule if that's what you want to do, like that kind of thing. However, what it's also important to know is that you're building a 5-figure, 6-figure per month business. You actually want to be selling or offering, however you want to word it, every single day unapologetically, trusting that the people, you're meeting people in their power. So if it's for them, they need to see your links every single day. And when they're ready, they're going to say yes. Because think about it like this. How many times have you been like on social media and you see a product, you're like, wow, that would be amazing. So for right now, there's this one. We have white everything in our house in Florida, and we have a dog and we have children. So the sofa is constantly got something on it. Did a paw print or the kids spill something like Cheeto dust, like whatever it is. So I saw this glove, right? It's like a microfiber glove. And in the video, I'm sure it doesn't work like this, but in the video, they just put the glove on, they wipe it over the sofa, and the stains are gone. Sounds too good to be true, right? But I'm like, maybe it could work. If there's a chance it could work, like that would be really good for me. Easy, blah, 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 right? I'm sold. And I can't remember who it was that was selling that thing. So I'm like waiting for this link to pop up again. I'm like wishing for, you know, when they listen to your voice and they send you like curated ads, I'm like, show me that one again, show me that one again, and it'll pop up. Now imagine if that company were like, oh my God, I'm being too much. I cannot post this link every day. And I'm just here waiting for the link. Hurry up, show me the link. I need to buy, I need to buy, I need to buy. Right? So if you're not sharing your links, there's people there who saw your thing, thought, wow, that would be amazing, but then got a phone call from the daughter, got distracted, and didn't screenshot it in time. How many times do you do that? Like all of you all, right? And you're over here, oh my God, once a week, once a month, like what? No, every single day.
Love it.
Helpful?
Yes, very helpful. Thank you so much.
Of course. And it's a wider conversation. You know, there is a training coming up on social media and all of the things. So, you know, bear with, and you always get to ask these questions too. So again, you can go a bit deeper with that today if you want to, and let me hear the next update. Who is next?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who is next? Debbie P, come on up, and then we'll go April.
So today I have launched my group program, or it started today, which was fantastic.
Yay!
And I had the first live call. I've got one person in the program, and it's perfect because I know her. She's been in my world. She trusts me, and it brought tears to my eyes when she said, and I did a live about it afterwards, that she said it was like having a big sister, someone that can walk her through it, tell her what to do. And that really touched my heart and made me realize that what I'm doing is such a powerful thing. But why aren't other people jumping into it? That's my big problem. And I don't know, I'm talking about it, I'm promoting it, I think I'm doing all the right things, and people aren't jumping in. So that is, and what you were saying to Asti is really helpful. And I do find that I focus on one thing. So while I'm doing the group program, everything else seems to go out of my head. So that's also a reminder to promote my one-to-one space, because I really want a cash injection. And yes. I'm trying to think, how can I offer things to get some money coming in? Because my group program will now run for 6 weeks. I've got one person in there. I'm still talking, I should still talk about it. And unless somebody else jumps in, I'm thinking, where can that money come from? So that's a big, that's sort of a big weight on my shoulders at the moment. But I've also really defined who my ideal client is. So I have sent out an email at the weekend to my whole email base and offered support in a different way to my existing customers. And I'm offering new support to my ideal customers. So I feel I'm moving forward in that respect. But yeah, the big problem is I really want a cash injection.
Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. And you know, it's amazing that there's this person in your group, and within the first session today, she's given you this feedback, and it's like, wow, like this is really consolidating that this is what I'm meant to be doing, and this is the impact that I have on people. Now, what Debbie's already aware of, we've been in the one-on-one space, is that she has not been speaking to her ideal clients. She's been speaking to old clients, she's been speaking to everyone, she's been speaking to people who are not her dream clients. And so you're in the midst of the up level, right? So we really want to remember that. And, you know, just to give some context for everybody else, this weekend, Debbie put out an email saying, if you are in my world and you specifically want to know about a journey to health, like come on this list. She was really bold. She stepped into her upgraded identity and she shared that information. AKA, like if you don't want to be getting this information, like tap out. I don't want to talk to you. Basically, it was as blunt as that, right? So you want to remember that you're in the up level right now. Now, this is for all of you. When you lead from I need money, right? Everything feels like urgent, you know, as Steve would say, like needy is creepy. Now, I want to give you a visual to really like support you guys to stop doing this, like leading with I need money, right? Imagine that you're, I'm just deciding what visual I want to give you here. Okay, so you've got your dream home, right? You've got your dream home and you're so excited about this dream home. Maybe it's the $60 million penthouse, right? Whatever it is for you, the villa in Mallorca. You've got your dream home and you want to bring in everyone and be like, you know, you've got bragging rights now. It's like, come and admire my home. I'm going to expand you when you step onto the balcony and you're going to see, you know, the crystal clear ocean and like all of those things. And people are, you know, in anticipation, they're excited, all of that. And then you take your coat off and round your neck on a lanyard, you've got a sign that says, please leave a tip and help me pay my rent. Right? Are people going to experience the invitation into your dream house in the same way? No, what's going to happen? What's going to happen, Debbie?
Well, you'll feel a fake, you know, like you don't deserve it, or you're not stepping into the whole sort of feeling of having, I don't know, deserved it or earned it, or
right.
Yeah, just feel a
So
fake.
what happens? Exactly. Your power gets diluted. Your magnetism dims because you're not holding the room anymore. You're not standing in your power anymore. You're trying to be picked. Now, that's not what an F I Love My Life 5-figure, 6-figure, $1 million business owner does. Right? Think about, you've been in Louis Vuitton lately, right? You've been in Louis Vuitton. Now, when you walk into Louis Vuitton, they're not running up to you and being like, put the bag in your face, buy this bag. In fact, if you buy 2 today, we're going to take 50% off. Like, oh my God, you need to have it. You walk into Louis Vuitton, they give you some space. They say, you know, if they see you looking at the bag, they're like, do you want to touch it? Do you want to smell it? Like, they don't need to sell you things because they know that these items are like exclusive and luxury. And if you want to buy it, you're going to buy it. There's no like energy of neediness or any of that stuff. So we want to remember that your job is not to chase money. Your job is to hold power, circulate power, only always. And so it always comes back to identity. Remember, money responds to power. So we don't want to be like, again, just like Emma, we don't want to step into shame here, but we do want to shift. Like, I need to sign a client to like, who's ready to rise? I'm ready to serve you. Can you feel the difference in that?
Yeah, it's hard to hold I find, because I do step into that, and I step into it a lot, and maybe I'm sort of waiting for the evidence.
Exactly.
It's yeah. So yeah. I know it, and I do it, but then there are times when I fall back down again.
That's it. And for all of you, what you want to take on is, am I in the daily non-negotiables of building a really powerful business? The first non-negotiable is always reminding yourself who you are, always reminding yourself what it is that you're creating and the why behind it, being in your power, and then speaking from that place, money making activities. So am I creating whatever your money making activities are? For me, it's, am I posting feed content? Am I doing offers in my stories? Am I connecting with my clients and serving really powerfully? So what are your daily money making activities? Are you selling your offers every single day? And then Devin and I were having this conversation in the car on the way to the airport this morning. We're both doing an in-person with our coaches this weekend. And he was like, what are you going to work on? Like, what do you want to create? And I said, there's nothing new that I want to create. However, and this is for all of you, there are people in your world right now who are waiting for you to speak to them. And the moment you speak to them, they're going to pay to be in your world. Now, the context for me is there are many women in my world, and some of them are in my one-to-one, who already have six-figure businesses, seven-figure businesses. So they're not going to buy the products and services that are aimed at five-figure months, right? I have all the skill, I have all the time, I already serve them in a one-on-one, but I don't have a specific space for them. And I'm not calling them into it. So why I share this with you, Debbie, Emma, April, Roz, Asti, there are people in your worlds who you can serve, and you're just not speaking to them yet. So if you want to be serving the client who's on a luxury yacht, like, is your content really speaking to that client right now?
Yeah.
Right?
So I think, yeah, my next level now that I've almost divided my customer base for the support to the old customers. Now it's changing my language to attract my new clients.
That's it. And you want to get so clear on your dream client. Now, don't just think about dream client. I also want you to think about your dream buyer, right? This is for all of you. I'm spending time here because it's going to help all of you. I want you to think about your dream buyer. How do they buy? Do they need time to think about it? Do they need a sales call? Do they need like some in-person time? Or do they just see the link and they're like, boom, I know she's for me, let's go. Right? Think about, how does your dream buyer invest? How do they make moves? Are you actually creating opportunities for them? I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about, like, what are their specific problems that you solve by taking them on a journey to health, to sovereignty, to building a business that means they get to serve their family at the same time, to killing their pain naturally, to being the ultimate mother despite the chaos. And one of the ways that I've suggested you guys do this before, so that they read your content and experience that, oh my God, she's speaking to me. It's like, okay, my dream client, and I'm speaking to Debbie for a minute here, she has got a wealthy husband, she's retired, she spends a lot of time traveling, planes, first class, yachts, like all of the things. She's out in the sun a lot. She tries to make healthy choices. She looks healthy on the outside, but on the inside, there's all this stuff going on. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, what does she wake up thinking, feeling, wishing? Let's talk to that. What's going on in her world at 11 o'clock in the morning? Let's talk to that. 1 o'clock. Let's talk to that. 3 o'clock. Let's talk to that. Continue, continue, continue. You'll never run out of content. You're going to continually speak to that woman.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you're becoming that woman, or if you're becoming the woman who serves that client. Like, that's okay. You can still speak to them. What do you hear in this?
Yeah, it's getting in their heads. Well, exactly what you said, talk to their problem and be the solution.
Yeah.
And the language that, or the client I'm talking to now is different to the language that I've been, or the client is different to the client I've been speaking to in the past.
That's it. That's it. And think about your own journey. This again, this is for all of you, right? So incredible, like a journey to health for Debbie used to mean, and this was a vision board moment not so long ago. A journey to health included yoga on the deck by the ocean, right? That was her vision board thing. That was her next level of journey to health. However, now, just a few short months later, your journey to health now includes, €100 hair washes. It now includes like all of these other things that you've been, realizing actually enhance your journey. Right? So you want to speak to not the people you were speaking to even a couple of months ago. You want to now speak to your next level of client who has the time, the financial means, like the curiosity to go and explore these things that you hadn't even considered a few months ago.
Yeah.
Right? So you all want to be very clear, like what is the identity of the person that I'm talking to? Am I using the tools in a way that is for a match for how I'm going to teach them to use the tools? The third question is like, is my life, my lifestyle aspirational for my dream client? Because if it's not, they're not going to jump into your world. They want someone who's like, either she gets it because she's got it, or, oh, there's another level, I want it.
Very helpful.
So there's no chasing required.
Yeah.
However, there is systems that you want to have in place. Be sharing your offers every single day. Whilst the group program is on, you want to be talking about it every single day. This is what was going on. This is what learned. This was the feedback, like blah, 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 blah. This is brand awareness. But you want to make sure that when you're sharing everything, you're talking to your dream client and your dream buyer.
Yeah.
Helpful for everyone? Okay, good.
Thank
All
you,
right. You're welcome. April, come on up.
Okay, so a fair bit of progress actually, being a lot more visible, created a support group locally, and got into the doctor's surgery with that. And I am writing this week to the practice manager about the book. So, and it's been received very well so far. Even not having the book physically in my hand, telling people about it has been well received. And every place that I've been around town to put up a flyer about the support group have all been very welcoming about this and surprised that a support group would be needed, but glad that there is one there. And I felt that going there talking about a support group rather than my business opportunity for people suffering from chronic pain was a much easier way in and more accepting of from other people for this support group, because it's not a business opportunity kind of thing. So that was I feel like a big win. And it's the first one's happening a week on Tuesday. So there.
Wow.
And I've done a podcast interview to be more visible as well. That's coming out on the 22nd, and posting more each day, trying to refine I've been working on refining the messaging, same situation as Debbie with a lot of things. I realise I've been in the energy of I need a cash injection and leading with that. Although I'm not verbalizing that on my post, but yeah. And then something you said the other day, Jess, about being able to making time to receive, and I thought, what? So I sat with that for a while, and I've been busy in the doing and attempting at being and missing the being for receiving. And I've deliberately slowed down to allow that to happen as well, and meditated on it as well. Meditation's taken, since coming back from New Zealand, meditation's taken a lot more. There's been an awful lot more. That quiet mind is just a joyful place.
Definitely.
The book is moving on. It's with the editor. I'm hoping within this next month it's going to be sorted. Trying to be very patient there. The cover is mocked up and in existence, so that's a big win. I cried when I saw that printed. Oh,
it's a big deal. Well done. Congratulations. Have you got it there? Have you got it?
Yeah.
Wow. I love it.
People.
Yeah, that's amazing. Isn't it beautiful? It looks so good. So good.
Thank you. I'm really pleased with that. I cut it out and I stuck it over a notebook of the same size, mopped it up, but I can't stop stroking it. But even Richard, when I showed him the mocked up version, he was gobsmacked about how it would look. So I think he's realizing that this is on a whole different level than he first thought. Oh, she's writing a book. Yeah, right. It'll look like a leaflet.
So good. So good.
Really good. Working on social media, determined that I'm going to master this. Just feel like, oh God, this has to be mastered. And I've been processing some emotions as well, which has been to do with my work and bringing it into reality and that push. And something happened the other day, which was really kind of a smack in the face of reality, that when you push, it only comes when the universe says it's ready for you. Because I did a really big piece of work. I achieved everything that I'd set out to achieve in a short space of time. Was told that, yeah, it was done. You got it. Celebrate. And then a week later, nope, something else happened that wiped it all out. So that was a big lesson of push and pull in the universe for me. And that became a bit emotional and frustrating, but processing that too. Yeah.
So there's this real evidence of the entrepreneurial roller coaster, right? It's like there's these huge wins, and then there's something else that comes in, and like this is the capacity. If you want to have the really good things, you also have to be able to hold the challenges and the things that don't feel as good. So the universe is evidencing that you're exactly where you need to be.
And it's also, I'm experiencing the challenge of this entrepreneurial journey in that I've committed to paying people, and there needs to be the money there to pay them. And I don't want to let people down or say I'll do something and then it doesn't happen, because that's letting them down as well. And that's not my thing. So I take it very personally. If I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it no matter what. But if that means money, then the money's got to be there so then that feeds into that need of the cash injection. So everything you said to Debbie about that earlier, take all that. I was making notes.
Yeah, good. Really, really good. Really good. You know, it was funny again, in preparation for this weekend, like I said, we're both going to work with our own coaches. So we're really, you know, it's important before you go into an immersion session to be clear on what am I working on, like what's getting in my way, what do I want to bring up, like all of these things. And you know, we were talking about, like, for both Devin and I, like building businesses to the level that we're all building businesses, it really takes intentionality. It really takes, you know, intentionality in who you're being, only always, what you're doing, only always, what you're putting out to the world, only always. And what you'll realize is that to the rest of the world, your 80% looks like 100%. But if you ask yourself, am I really playing at 100%? Are you? Like, are you? And you get to ask yourself that, because when you're who you all are, it's very easy to cheat yourself and the world of your full output. So that's a question I really invite you all to ask yourselves. Like, am I really playing full out? Or does my 80% look like most people's 100%? And so I'm actually not playing the game that I know that I could be. So there's that question. I want to touch upon what April said about practicing receiving. I know this hit deep with a lot of you this week. Now, to be in the energy of receiving, to be ready to receive, it doesn't mean like let me sit, palms up, world, come, like bring it to me, like this miracle, like I'm ready, like bring it, bring it, bring it. It means like really becoming the woman who can hold all of the things that you say that you want. So remember, in our world, it's about not being addicted to hustle, right? You trust yourself, you trust that your clients, you trust that money, you trust that magic will respond to your energy as well as your output, right? Being ready to receive also means that you are so clear on what you want and why you want it, and you're moving in alignment with your vision only always. Being ready to receive means that you're doing the internal work. Part of the internal work for like 5-figure months is being safe, creating a nervous system that feels safe to receive 5-figure months. Because lots of people say that they want it, but like on a subconscious level, they're terrified of receiving it. Because you might think, and this was the question I asked myself in our conversation this morning, if I really want, you know, more money, impact, income, do I have a subconscious belief that I have to give something up, or that I have to, like, if I be more, is that going to have an impact on something else? How I'm showing up for my family, my clients, like what am I going to have to let go of? Do I want to let go of it? So often there's like a subconscious fear that can be blocking you from your next level of income and impact. So that's like looking at that, getting really clear on that. You know, Devin said the same thing. Like he's on his way to $10 million years, right? And he said, you know, I could have 10 million. I could do that easily right now. And there's something that's like, I don't want to let go of some things to be able to do that. It's like, I love my life. It's easy. It's comfortable. It's like blah, 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 blah. But then there's the entrepreneur inside that's like that. Oh, I'm playing a small game. But I get away with it because my 80 looks like 100. Like I'm successful in the world. I know there's another level. So there's a misalignment here. But there's a fear that's blocking the next level. There's also a thought for both of us. Oh, it's going to be hard. But actually, it's not. Right? So we want to look at all of these things in terms of like, are you really ready to receive? Maybe it's that you're current content, just like we said with Debbie, is aligned with the old identity rather than the who you're becoming identity. On If I Love My Life this week, we spoke about like your boundaries. Do they need to be up leveled? Did you used to give away your time and all of the things for free, but now you're charging for it and people are not used to that? Do you like compromise with yourself? Maybe if I just give them a little bit, then eventually they'll start paying me because they're starting to see the value. But that's convincing energy, right? So you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to receive, or is there some internal work that you have to do? Helpful? Okay, good. Rod, let's hear from you.
So thanks for what you said there, Jess. That's really kind of, I think, hit the nail on the head for me. Because I think I was got to the stage of I was pushing too hard and my body just gave me all message after message after message. Slow it down, slow it down. So that's where I've been sort of looking within more at the moment and resolving those issues and why they're coming up. And it's a lot of the subconscious thoughts and the fears that are coming out. Gosh, if I really do step into this, eek, what's going to happen? So I'm working through that, and also looking at not changing my program, but restructuring it, because I've got the distinct message to know about how to help with trauma. So I'm doing a course on helping with trauma. So I'll bring those. It's restructuring the program and how it's going to flow through to address trauma, but at a later stage, so that I'm still one step ahead. So that's kind of where I am at the moment. Yeah, working it out and my messaging and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, we've had this conversation before. Like, it is so important to play in both the long-term and the short-term energy, right? Because that's how you build something sustainable, is by being in both the long-term energy. This is what I'm creating. This is the bigger picture. Like, this is what I'm working towards. This is who I'm becoming in the pursuit of this long-term vision. So we really want to be in that. And that means that there's no pressure, there's no like need, like that needy energy for a result immediately, because you know where you're going, you know why, you know what you're creating, right? So it's so important to play in the long-term energy, but you also want to play in the short-term energy, because it's like, what am I creating today? What am I creating today? Because I have something so powerful that people shouldn't have to wait to feel my energy, my impact. So what am I saying? What am I sharing? You know, what am I selling that's a short-term opportunity for people to come in and experience my work? Or like, am I, if I'm not selling, where am I being visible so that when I do drop something to sell, I have an audience who are like ready to buy. They're literally just waiting for me to drop because they know who I am, they know my value. So we always want to play in both the long-term and the short-term energy. And when you can dance between both, that's when you become unshakable. If we only play in the long-term energy, the danger zone is, I have all the time in the world. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get that out there someday. If you only play in the short-term energy, it's that, oh my God, I need a sale today. Let me just get this dog 1 second. Ocean. It's okay. Devin just passed her to me because he's on a call. If I only play in the short-term energy, I'm in the needy. Oh my God, I need money today. I need the desperado. Like putting stuff out there, not to serve, but because, oh my God, I need something. So when we play in both, it's like, I'm creating this really powerful vision and I'm taking daily aligned action because it would be stingy not to. What do you hear in this, Roz?
Yeah, that's what I haven't been doing, is the short-term stuff. I'm just sitting back and letting the long-term stuff fall into place, and it's the short-term that I need to be focusing on as well. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
So we want to be in both. And what that's going to do for you is it's obviously going to stretch your capacity, but it's also going to mean that you step more you step more confidently and you'll build self-belief as you do so. It's like, okay, I don't really know what to post today. I don't know if it's the right thing to post today. I'm playing with my voice because some of the stuff I'm talking about is really controversial, but you're going to practice it and you're going to master it over time. So you're going to build confidence and conviction whilst you're figuring out who your dream buyers are, like how they're responding to your message. And throughout that, you're going to learn where do you need to grow internally to be able to hold the massive trauma and the experiences of the people that you're going to serve. Because as people respond or are triggered to what you're putting out there, you're going to have to look at your own healing. Oh, I thought that was healed, but actually it's bringing something up.
Yeah.
Let me work through this. Let me lead myself through this using the tools that I'm going to use for other people, with other people. And by the time I do that program, I'm going to be, you know, the most wisdomful version of myself to be able to support them way more powerfully than I would have been able to 3 months ago.
Definitely. Yep. Thank you.
Helpful?
Very. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. So in the chat box, what I'd love you all to do is share with me, what is the biggest problem you've got right now that if you could solve would have the biggest impact? And I want to see what's coming up for you all. Creating short-term content to build my audience. I'm going to help you with that, Roz, right? I saw this morning. Getting into the mind of my dream buyer. Yep, one there. Life feels unpredictable and like something to manage. Figuring out how to more intentionally apply my time so I can get all the things I want done in a day. Paying dream clients. So let me go down the room and hear your biggest takeaway from what we've talked about today, whether it was through your own shares or through someone else's feedback. Asti.
Hey, I think my biggest one today was really diving deep in how to speak to my dream client. And I know we've talked about this so many times before, but it really landed on a different level today.
Good. And it always does. And this is why I say, you know, I'm not going to, and this is important for you guys too. I'm not just going to create teaching or sessions for the sake of creating sessions. I'm not always going to bring you something new, because what actually we do is we shift the paradigm through repetition of new ideas. So I can teach you the same thing, but you're going to be a different person every time you hear it. You're constantly evolving. And when it needs to land, it is going to land. You're like, oh, I hear this in a different way today. Right? So you want to take that on board with your own teachings as well. You don't have to be consistently reinventing the wheel. Successful brands repeat the same messages over and over and over again. You're so trusted because, wow, her methodology doesn't change. Yes, it evolved, but it's rooted in the same things only always. Like the natural painkillers never going to stop banging on about hydration, ever, or sleep. The journey to health is never ever not going to not contain removing toxins from your lifestyle. Right? Roz is never going to say you need to stop healing. Asti's never going to say, mums, you don't need to earn 5-figure months. Right? Emma's never going to say, hey, mums, parenting is simple. You've got it all wrong. Ever. Right? So repetition, repetition, repetition. I love that. Roz, what's your biggest takeaway from today?
I think it was for me, it was where you're talking about practicing receiving, and it's having that safe nervous system. And I know that it's something I do work on, but I really need to focus on it because that's going to be such a big part of the work that I'm doing as well.
Yeah, and your stretch is creating safety whilst being in action, because you definitely have a story that I have to create the safety first, but actually you can't practice the safety of being in action until you're in action. So we want to be in the long and the short term, whatever that looks like for you. Good stuff. April?
It's the do I have a subconscious belief blocking me for my next level?
Yeah, look at that. Good job, Emma.
Yeah, I just wrote down like aspirational question mark is one of my like notes, and realizing that like absolutely there's so many elements of my life and my relationships that are aspirational. People would absolutely fall over themselves to be able to get into the peace and the certainty and the power that I'm bringing to it. And yeah, I'm working through another level right now, but it's okay to be becoming. So
Right, but you also want to understand that you have to, and this is for all of you, like your messaging has to consistently be about the problem that you solve for people. Your messaging has to consistently be about the problem that you help people solve, what's getting in the way of them having the results that they want right now, like all of that, right? But your imagery, your videos have to show that you are living a life that they want. Otherwise, you're just the same as everybody else. It's like that we're very good people who haven't got the results that they want yet are very good, and you'll see this now. I'm bringing it forward on social media, leaking all over the place, at sharing or airing their dirty laundry, at saying, hey, I've had a tough weekend, behind the scenes all of this has been going on, but hey, I led myself through it, instead of assuming that people know their leadership, their power, because they're constantly in their lane of service. And they live this lifestyle because they're constantly leading and moving powerfully through the challenges of life. Everybody knows that everybody has challenges of life, but people don't want to hear about all the challenges. They want to say, she has the solution. She's an authority in her industry. She's powerful, leader only, always. And look at the life that she's living because of her using the tools that she teaches every single day. So lead with your aspirational lifestyle. People want to see that.
okay. A lot of my aspirational stuff is like interpersonal though, and it's also like, recently Josh has been like, don't put the kids at all on any social media, and then Kai's been saying, I don't want to be, before he'd be like, post that on social media, Mum,
Yeah.
and he's like, don't. So I won't, of course, like from Kai's honouring. So like now I have to think about how I demonstrate that connection, because it's
Yeah.
like it's all about connection and peace, which is not something you can take a picture of. So
Yeah. Well, listen, the other day on Instagram, and people like certain things. We're on the plane. I do an Up in the Clouds offer, and I take a picture of my hand in Devon's hand with the dog sat between us. Demonstrates connection, but nobody really knows. Like, that could have been anyone. They know it's me because they know my jewelry, they know my dog, like that kind of thing. But I didn't show Devon's face, didn't show it was. So
yeah.
you want to get creative. It's like, how do I demonstrate peace? How do I demonstrate outdoors is really important, whatever it is for you.
Yeah.
You all have aspirational lifestyles. You want to get committed to sharing more of that. Asti, you live by that beautiful creek, right? How often do you show working from home looks like this? I get to drink my tea in my backyard while being on a Zoom call or like whatever it is. Like, how often are you sharing that kind of thing?
I don't think I've ever shared it.
Right? That the mums that you're serving who want to work from home are literally visualizing, wow, if I worked from home, I wouldn't have to be sat at this desk with the boss in there slurping his coffee and like all of the things. So you have to show that you have that. Like, even today, I'm here with you guys. I should do a video or something, but I'm here with you guys on a Zoom call from the airport with the dog, right? You all know travel is a huge part of my life. My dream clients want to travel. They want to be able to build a business from you, or they want to show up like at 6 a.m. and then have the rest of the day for themselves. Like, that's all aspirational. But we all want to look at like what's getting in the way of us sharing that. And it's not about talking about it and bamming it up per se, but when you show that in the back of the valuable words, the problem solving, you put the text on top of it, people know that's your life. They don't need you to say, hey, look at blah, 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 blah. Make sense? right? And remember, aspirational isn't like, for most people, being in an airport 24/7, right? Actually, aspirational is like connection. Aspirational is sitting around the dinner table laughing. Aspirational is, you know, being at home to put the kids to bed, like whatever it is for you guys, right? So really get clear on what is it my dream clients want? Am I showing that I have the things that they want? And then is my messaging on top powerful, not explaining that I have those things, but serving my people while showing that when you use these tools, this is what you get. Make sense? Okay, good. See how powerful just sharing your breakthroughs are. It takes us down a different angle. Who have I not asked? April, I asked you, didn't I? Debbie.
I realized that I went from being in my full power to, you know, and doing my group program to then going straight into lack mentality. And I think saying it out loud, I could just sort of almost hear myself going backwards. So you reminded me to step back into my power and actually sort of think about, get clear on my dream buyer and where they are, how they buy. So yeah, these calls always come at the perfect time.
That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
it. You all want to remember to, with so much love, stay in your lane. Because whenever your mind goes to how many likes have I got, who's not buying, you're naturally not in service or creation or love. You're in lack, you're in making it all about you, all of the things. So just notice, not a bad thing, notice, catch it, remind yourself who the F you are, and ask yourself from that identity, what would I be doing right now? And do that. And it's not always a business thing. In fact, it's usually not a business thing, as long as you've done your non-negotiable business things. All right. And with that, ladies, I will love you and leave you and send you on to the best day ever. I will see you in whatever space I see you next. We have F I Love My Life this week. I think it might be Wednesday and I'm not 100% sure, but check the calendar. I will see you in there, and anything you need in the meantime, I got you. Just reach out and go get it. Have fun. Lots of love, ladies. Bye. Bye. Bye.